I am the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So, I did a thing a while back called a rude ambush, where I put a Chaos Knight down a city street and had some Necrons ambush it, and they totally destroyed it. And I've done something along those lines a few times since, but I've gathered up three groups to think they have what it takes to take down a big ass slaaneshi demon prince. So we're gonna let them try. So first of all, we'll look at the alley. 48 inches down. The Demon Prince goes 16 inches, so it's only going to take it 3 turns. So, yeah. So we're going to have shilaxi helbane, which I discovered has a lot of wounds. Take a stroll. Yeah, it's probably going to kick some ass. So first up to fight it, we're going to have these orks. We'll have these 10 commandos. They've got a rocket launcher, a burner, a shooter, a breacher, all kinds of craziness. And then a 10-man squad of regular boys with a big shooter, and then a depth dread with 2 scorches, 2 dread claws, and a mech gun with a bubble checker. So hopefully these guys can take out the demon prince. I'll set up the orcs. We'll set up the keeper of secrets thingy, shilaxi. It's all the same, right? Same model. We'll set up shilaxi helbane and happiness things, awesomeness. So shilaxi Hellblade starts at this end of the table. Just has to gather 48 to get over there. But attempting to stop them, her, it, whatever. We have a mech gun up here. The 10 boys with the big shooter just hanging out the window right there in that building. The depth red down here at the end, ready to pop out with some scorch of awesomeness. The commandos in this building here ready to dump into also. Okay, so we'll start with shilaxi and slaaneshi movement. So shilaxi just moved forward 16 inches. Can't attack anybody currently because the orcs have not sprung their ambush, but they will here in a second. So that'll make it orc turn. No movement, but there will be lots of shooting. So these orcs, these happy commandos, launched everything they had and didn't hit a single thing. The depth dread is too far away. The mech gun failed to wound, and none of these boys over here hit anything at all. No charging for this kind of deal, so that makes it the demon's turn. Alright, so shilaxi Hellblade just moved 16 inches forward, 2/3 of the way there. There's definitely going to be a psychic. Shilaxi Helbane cast the Pavan of Slaaneshi on these guys, which killed 1.5 of them, and smote the depth dread for a couple points. It does actually have a shooting weapon. I mean, that whip somehow is counting as a shooting weapon, so it's going to whip the depth dread. So shilaxi Helbane used the living whip on the depth dread and really messed it up. Did 6 points of damage to it. No need to charge anything. It's almost here at the end. So yeah, we'll go on over to the orc turn. So the twin scorches from the orcs did 4 points of damage. The commandos and the regular boys did a little bit more damage to it. Got it down to 14. But it's going to cross the line as soon as this next turn starts. So the orcs cannot take down shilaxi Helbane. Kind of sad. That's okay, there's 2 more to go. One of those 2 will probably make it. Alright, so shilaxi managed to outwalk the orcs. I'm not entirely surprised, they only hit on 5s, and yeah. The demon save invulnerability thing is kind of crazy. So hopefully the next opponents will do better. And for next opponents, we have Chaos Space Marines. We have a Sorcerer, 10 Chaos Space Marines with a autocannon and a heavy bolter, and then 2 Obliterators. I have a little bit of faith. These guys probably have a better chance. I don't know. I'll set them up and we'll start this thing. So shilaxi starts over again down here at this end of the table. The sorcerer is up here on the 3rd floor of this building. Got an obliterator next to him. The group of 10 with the heavy weapons out in front. And then across the street, we have the other obliterator there. So, as the walker, shilaxi goes first. So shilaxi moves forward, isn't aware of the ambush. Chaos turn. There is a psyker. He's going to try and do some psychic stuff. So the sorcerer cast Infernal Gaze, and the shilaxi tried to deny it and failed. It took a point of damage from that, and then it took 2 points of damage from a smite. So, yeah. Get into the chaos shooting phase. So the obliterator over here did 4 points of damage to it in the shooting phase. Pretty much nothing else hit it. So that makes it shilaxi's turn. So movement. So shilaxi moved forward 16 inches. And we'll go into the psychic phase. So shilaxi failed to manifest either of the powers that I was trying to do. So I guess he'll attack somebody with his whip. So shilaxi killed 3 of these space marines here. Not charging, so it'll be the last turn for chaos. So this sorcerer advanced, got a really good advance roll to get super closer to the shilaxi so that he can cast some psychic spells. So we're going to do the psychic phase. So he tried to cast Infernal Gaze and it didn't go off, and then he cast Smite and got the really bad perils. Okay, I guess it's the good perils, the one where it still goes off and does d6 damage, but you take a point of damage, but it wasn't the snake eyes where you just take a point of damage and nothing happens, so I guess it was the good Smite. So we'll do some chaos shooting. So chaos definitely gave it a valiant effort. They got it down to 5 health, but that's the end of their turn, so it makes it to the end of the row. So chaos did a really good job, but also failed to kill it. We got one more team that's gonna make the attempt for this video, and I have a lot more faith in them. So I'm gonna clear the board and we'll meet them. Alright, so shilaxi has thus far walked away from 2 armies, well, 2 factions successfully. But I don't know how well that's gonna work against these guys. We have 2 10-man squads of the new warriors with the God's Reapers, and 2 Locust Heavy Destroyers with the God's Exterminators. Pretty much the same squad that destroyed the Chaos Knight way long ago. So I'm going to set these guys up and we'll start the walk. So shilaxi is here, ready to start the walk. A Heavy Destroyer is up here, ready to shoot things up. It's kind of hard to see because the lighting sucks, but there's 10 Necron warriors in there. We have 10 more Necron warriors right there. And the other Heavy Destroyer up here on this 3rd floor waiting to get into it. So the demon gets to start walking first. I feel like shilaxi is probably having some sort of like bad nightmare thing where it has to keep walking down the street over and over and over again. Either way, it's moved down the way, and now the Necrons will spring their ambush with some Necron shooting. So the Locust Heavy Destroyer did 4 points of damage to the Greater Demon here, and everybody else just missed. So that makes it the Demon's turn. So shilaxi just moved forward another 16 inches. And now we'll go to the psychic phase. So shilaxi attempted to manifest cacophonic choir and failed to do that, but managed to get Pavane, one of those three. Pavane of Slaaneshi off into the group of warriors to the left there, killing 2 of them. So now it's going to whip something. So the living whip was used against these warriors right here, and another 3 were killed. That'll make it the end of shilaxi's turn, so the Necrons have this turn to kill it, or it's going to escape. So these warriors came out of the building to get close enough to be able to shoot at the demon. And between these 10, the 5 remaining over there in that building, and both of these Locust Heavy Destroyers, they were able to actually kill the demon, so yeah, Necrons doing their Necron-y thing. So yeah, overall, the Necrons came out because their heavy supports kick ass. I mean, the Obliterators for Chaos does definitely do a lot of damage, and they did indeed knock it down a lot, but the finickiness, having to reroll the D3s for the various strength, what is that? Strength AP and damage? Yeah. Makes the Obliterator a little hit and miss sometimes. And orks just didn't have, I mean, hitting on a 5 just really sucks. But yeah, so I guess they'd be hitting on a 6 because this thing's -1 to hit. Terrible. I'm glad I didn't remember that for orks. I remembered it for Chaos and the Necrons, but I forgot about it for orks, so that means they really would have done twice as bad. I don't know. If you made it to the end of the video and put up with my long rambling, I do appreciate you watching. This was a weird battle. Hopefully I can get more heavy supports for the other factions that I have, and more big-ass units that we can send down the street. Either way, have a good morning.